All right, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, so you can see my screen hopefully now.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so we wanted to start out, I think it's notable that we talked about a little bit on the phone that East Baton Rouge is the third largest user of defined careers, and the school district has really only been engaged with defined careers over the last 6 months. So that's 80,000 views. So that's amazing engagement in a short period of time. Okay, now I can't get it to switch slides.
You may try the spacebar, Brandon. No.
No space, no enter, no arrow. Oh, my little other thing works. Okay, so how did we get here? We thought we'd share a little bit about like the review process. Ultimately, it was probably about this time last year, maybe a little bit earlier, where the Talent Action Collaborative, working together with East Baton Rouge Area Chamber and the East Baton Rouge Parish School District, started to identify some challenges in the community about really centered around parents feeling like the only way their students will be successful is to go to a four-year university, and not really being able to provide all students with a clear and integrated pathway. So how can the education system connect with employers and lots of opportunities for careers that don't necessarily involve a four-year university? Right. So ultimately, they were looking for a solution provider. And so that's where Defined Careers came into play. This little picture down here is some elementary students within the district and the projects that they created through Defined Careers. So Defined Careers, one of the reasons, or several reasons why they chose Defined Careers, was that it's K-12 and project-based learning. So teachers and students are going to have really a wide breadth of career content. It is aligned to a scope and sequence that was created with East Baton Rouge and the determined career pathways in the area. That part of that review process was through East Baton Rouge Area Chamber. They were the ones who identified those areas of careers in the area and how we align that for you. And also, very importantly, is that Defined Careers is research-based, and we're going to share some of those research results with you a little bit further in the presentation. Very sensitive mouse here. So ultimately, East Baton Rouge created a rollout plan. So their goal was to ultimately implement Defined Careers throughout the entire district coming here in the fall session. They're going to provide evidence for teachers and parents. So because of the reporting platform in Defined Careers, the teachers and parents are able to see, what types of career students are gravitating for in order to make informed decisions through that career progression. And in Defined Careers, the students can create a portfolio. Right. So every student, grades 4 through 12, will spend somewhere between 2 and 4 hours engaging in career experience and exposure. And this highlights, really where Defined Careers is being embedded. The teachers have all been identified and where they're going to embed this career connection within the school day. Okay. And so Defined Careers is really the only K through 12 college and career readiness platform that helps school districts really support experience in careers through project-based learning and that hands-on experience. That kind of just gives a little background on what Defined Careers is all about. Let's see, did I miss a slide? Defined Careers has content in all 16 career clusters and all 79 career pathways, and there's over 500 careers available for students to experience through project-based learning. Ultimately, the process starts with an interest inventory assessment, where they're going to answer a series of questions about what they're interested in, what their work values are, what type of work environment they want to work in, and we'll recommend career pathways based on how they answer those questions. And then the students will be able to have hands-on projects based on those interest results, ultimately creating a student portfolio and then a portrait of a graduate. And as I mentioned earlier, the scope and sequence is aligned to these career clusters, which have been identified by the East Baton Rouge area chamber. Okay, this is just an example of the scope and sequence that has been created. So you can see every month they'll have a different career that they will experience through defined careers. Oops. And then the following slides will show some research results from a school district, Broken Arrow in Oklahoma. They've been using defined careers for about a year, and they did some evaluation. There's some survey results with the middle school students. So I thought you could just kind of click through these pretty quickly, but the impact is so great that it's important to share, how students are becoming more career knowledgeable through defined careers. So there's a series of questions that you can see up here on the top, and then the survey results. Okay. And then once again, just kind of reiterating the great engagement that East Baton Rouge teachers have had with defined careers over the last 6 months. What do you think? What questions do you have? Anything, Mara? Oh, you're still on mute. Or anything I missed that should be important, Joel?
So I'll have to send an email from home with you, to all the parents.
Mara, did you have any questions?
No, I like that you showed that they, it kind of carries over from year to year, that the students can use, once they get to high school, that'll allow them to navigate and understand where their interests, may, support, their next step. I like that. I didn't realize it held on to that data from year to year.
Yes.
That's amazing. And I think that'll be helpful, for parents and students so that they
Yes.
know what to do, next steps.
And
So
guidance
I like that.
counselors, they can also help them into coursework. If you really like these type of careers, these are the type of coursework that you should take in next year. So they'll be really informed decisions when students are making their plans after high school.
I like that.
Yeah. And then new things that are coming for this school year coming up that we talked about the other day. But you all are able to add in your work-based learning opportunities. So for students that are able to apply for internships, they can find that information out through defined careers that you can add in there. We will have virtual internships for all 16 career clusters. So that will give an opportunity for all students to participate in an internship, regardless of, the ability, transportation or any kind of hurdles there might be. So they'll all be able to participate. Soft skills are measured in those, through project-based learning, but also through the virtual internships.
So how do the virtual internships, how would that work?
Yeah, it's well, we can take you through it, but it's ultimately it's just a part of defined careers. They'll launch this internship. They have to apply, but they're all accepted. Joel, do you want to share
Yeah,
some?
I was just gonna say, so it is all through, what we do. So it really takes a deep dive, what I would say, into a pathway and gives you a variety of experiences within that pathway to get your understanding if it's a good fit for you, really. And that's what the whole idea of defined careers is, anyway. And Mara, I would say that I was excited to hop on with you guys today because the process that the district went through with the Chamber of Commerce, whatever, a year ago, 18 months ago at this point, whatever, I was there at the initial meeting with the business leaders from the area, and everybody was so on board and so passionate about, it was cool. We don't see that. We work with schools all over the country and we don't see that a lot. So it was a cool process to be part of. And then for the year, for that second half of the year, the usage and the teachers' ability to jump in was so great. So it's just an exciting, we had an exciting first 6 months, and hopefully we're able to keep it going.
Absolutely. And now that you say that, one of the things that I was also thinking about is, I think it sounds like after the Talent Action Collaborative got together, one of their goals really was to have create a clear and integrated pathway to a career for all students. So no matter what that was. And then to be able to introduce students to high demand, high wage careers that are local that have been identified by the Baton Rouge Area Chamber.
And is that these at the bottom here, Brandon?
It's these, yes. Yep. So all of the careers that the students are being exposed to through defined careers will fall under those areas. So ultimately, you're, training students to be able to stay in the community and have careers that are available.
Now,
Yeah.
the soft skills portion, are there activities that are embedded with the pathways and the different activities? It's all kind of in together, or is it separate? Is it a separate activity?
All together.
Altogether.
Yeah, all together. So as they're moving through the project-based learning, they're going to be developing those critical thinking, problem-solving skills, communication, collaboration. But then also through the internships, they'll be working on like what are the soft skills, Joel? They're like
Networking.
yes, networking,
Yes. Teamwork, the collaboration.
teamwork. Yep.
Problem solving,
Yep.
critical thinking. all
Resume.
those.
Mhm.
Yes, resume
All
writing.
embedded in the projects.
Mhm.
And especially as Brian says, as they move through the virtual internships as well.
Yes.
Okay. And then I had a question. I know later on we're going to get into it as far as how the platform we can use with our current internships.
Yeah, so
That'll be
that's what
later.
we mentioned that we'll schedule a time in July to show you how that works, but there's ultimately just upload. It's like a little custom section for you to upload that information.
Okay.
We'll go over that in July.
And Mara, the cool part about that and the way that it's going to be designed is that now those students that'll be part of their portfolio within defined learning, so it can build into the existing portfolio. So if they're doing things virtually with us or physically at an internship, it'll all be part of that same portfolio that they can then have, and their parents can see in the school season, they can take with them.
Now, will it be something that businesses would also, because we use a different platform for that, and I was wondering if this one could be used kind of the same way, where there's communication as far as when they are at their internship site, and the business can communicate with the teacher saying that they are here, they're meeting their hours, and will it be like utilized like that, or more just academic knowledge base?
That is in the development, and I believe that is early. That is for the fall.
Okay.
And then the other thing I'd mention too, Mara, I'm sure you see a lot of educational research. That the research was done roughly with 400 students per class, so a total of 1,200 students were surveyed. It was actually a little bit over, but being the last couple of days of school, how students probably like myself just want to get out of there. So they, I don't think I think we ended up surveying a few more, but like it was over 400 students per class, which is a good sample size in terms of and the numbers we got, reflect some really good data.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, and I have this crafted in the email that I will send to you and Monique, but my colleague, Carly Brandt, is going to create a video to show you how to access your administrative side of defined careers so you can see all the reports. That way you can refer back to it when you need to.
That'd be great. Thank you.
So she's going to do that. And then I'm just going to put some of the bullet points that we talked about today in the email too.
Yeah, the goal I was thinking, I definitely would like to see the usage. That way I know which schools are needing the most support.
Yes, that's
so I can, go to that particular school or particular schools. to provide that
terrific, yeah.
support.
Mara, what is the structure of the meeting tomorrow? Because if you have if you, or was it Monique? Do I have that?
Yes.
I mean, you know, we can, I know Brandon had said she could be available for questions, or I don't know what the structure is, but we're there to support this.
Right. Ms. Scott Spalding had mentioned that it's, they really don't want to listen to the vendors. They want to hear from, the department. So they wanted to understand what the platform was and how it's used and the future of it. And how it's, is it really being utilized? And I think that first slide explains it all, and that'll help. They were just more concerned of, is it really being used,
Yeah.
within the district? So,
Yeah.
so
Do you
that's
thi-
definitely, and what it's really, what is it? Because they didn't know what it was. And like I
Right.
was explaining, it's a new board. So
Mhm.
they really don't know. They weren't here the first go around when it passed the first time. So it's really new for them. And they just want to understand what it is.
Yeah.
And Mara, one of the things we had, just to keep in mind, I mean, this could be a down the road and see how, you know, but we have the ability to, and as a teacher, you have the ability to do some custom work to the site. We had initially spoken with the chamber, you know, if it made sense about doing some custom work as well. So I mean, that could be put in the cart a little bit before the horse, but there is that flexibility built in too, to make it a more, you know, more, even though we do have all the connections to the careers and the appropriate careers that are important, and the clusters and pathways, but we can do some things that are very specific. If you have specific employers that you wanted to target, we can support that work as well. So we have a lot of flexibility within the platform.
Okay. And how would that be different from what it is now? Explain that.
Yeah, so what we have now for most of our customers is 100% perfect, is great, right? Because it'll have like agriculture, and you could be somewhere in Iowa, or you could be anywhere, and that those pieces are relevant. You might have an employer, like maybe the largest employer outside of the school district in your community that students are interested in, and we could partner with them to do specific content around that particular employer.
Okay.
There's just a lot of flexibility built in, and I know at one point the chamber had asked about that, so I thought I would mention it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you. That would be more like understanding the needs assessment too for what the district would need. And it's also dependent on, because we're such a large district, because certain high schools have different businesses around them too.
Mhm.
And as you
Yeah.
said, that might not even be necessary, and might just be us helping point them in the right direction. And like when we have that scope and sequence, maybe doing some additional work on a per high school basis, and helping those high schools, particularly around, you know, whatever, you know, if they have something slightly different in that particular high school.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think the more I dive into it and I'll have a more understanding in how I can support the different schools. I know they're gonna be the same, but a little bit different.
Yeah. I don't
So-
know if it's worth noting that, you know, our partnership, that we have those monthly meetings, that we share
Yes.
data reports, that, you know, we're ultimately working with you on a monthly basis to make sure we're meeting the goals of the district and the community.
Well,
Yeah.
this is helpful.
A lot of information for 15 minutes, but I'll try to put some highlights in the email.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this too.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And I can't wait to continue just to understand more and all the things that it could do.
Yeah. So, you know, whenever you're ready, we'll schedule that
Mhm.
time to take a deep dive.
Yes. Especially starting off with like the reports that I can pull.
Yeah.
Now, when
Yeah,
I
no.
pull reports, will you be able to pull it for individual schools? Yes. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah, I know it's Carly's intention to do it this afternoon, so I should be able to send it over to you before the end of the day.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Well, I think this will be helpful with what we have already, and this will help Ms. Scott Spalding kind of navigate through it and understand more.
Terrific. Yeah, and let me know if any questions come up. You can always give me a
Absolutely.
call.
I will let her know. Yes, thank you. Thank you all so much.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Mara. It
Alrighty,
was good
bye-bye.
meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.